Hey everyone, this is my latest video for one of the vintage sewing machines that I restore, and this model was just completed. This is a Singer 66, and I have made modifications to it, and I had one of these that I did last week. I put it onto Craigslist, on the Charlotte Craigslist, and it sold in less than a week, and I was just curious to see if there was demand out there, and so I'm going to be making more of these to see if there's a need out there for those of you who normally look to vintage sewing machines because you want to sew heavy materials. And all of the machines that I have quite a few listed, they all will sew very heavy materials. They were designed to. But a few of my customers have special needs. They want to sew things like heavy tarps or sails or boat covers, upholstery, not just upholstery, but like, marine upholstery, boat enclosures, and they want to sew a little bit thicker leather than what most people would. And so I've taken a machine and I've upgraded it. I've installed, this machine has a number of upgrades. It has an all-new motor that is about 3 times the power of the original, and the original is not a bad motor. In fact, as I mentioned in the other video, I do my own sewing with the original Singer motor, and it's wonderful. But this is a purposefully built machine. The machine has gone through the whole restoration process that I do with all of my machines, and you will see the photos of that restoration on the posting on Craigslist. So be sure to check that out. But the video mainly was to talk about the changes that I made to the machine. I have installed a heavier weight flywheel or hand wheel, and of course it has a new belt, and all of these upgrades will be listed. I also decided to not use the original Singer light. They're wonderful lights. I use my own machine has an original Singer light, but I have actually I'm including an LED light, which provides a lot more lighting than the original bulb did, and that's again just another one of the upgrades I'm doing to the machine. And what I've got here right now is extra strong, thick, this is Gutterman polyester upholstery thread, and I'm going to be demonstrating a couple things today. This is just like my other video on the machine that sold. I'm going to be showing you heavy denim, and then I'm also going to be doing some garment weight leather, and I'm going to be switching out my needles. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the stitching, and let's see here. Right now, guys, I've got a long straight stitch. This is a straight stitch machine only, which is all many of you will need. And this one has back tacking, okay? So you can do your reverse stitching with that feature. That's a great feature to have. And I'm going to come back. This is 2 layers of heavy denim from Wrangler pants. So I can slow my needle down, and I'll show that to you coming back once more. You'll notice I can get a little bit, get my foot on the pedal here correctly. Notice I can slow the needle down, right? I have a new electronic foot pedal installed here, but I can also go really fast if I want to. Pretty darn fast for a vintage machine. So now I'm going to go ahead and start upping the layers. I have a 15-minute max I like to do on my videos, so I want to hurry up and get moving on that. But before I do, I want to show you the stitch quality. Whenever someone tells you that a sewing machine runs, that's not enough. You want to actually be able to know that it's making a good stitch. The Singer 66 was the first Singer machine that was famous for making a very beautiful and consistent straight stitch. And it was the beginning of a long line of wonderful Singer machines, and you've seen me make videos on many of them. So that's 2 layers. Any of the vintage machines should do this. A lot of new machines will not sew denim no matter how many layers you try to get in there. So I'm going to add 2 more. Actually, I'm going to add 3 more, guys. I'm going to go to 5 layers, and I know that sounds like a big jump, but I've got quite a few to go here. And I'm not afraid to do this. If I can fit it under the presser foot, I believe she will sew it for me. And we'll see what she does. 5. And by the way, this is a jeans needle. It has an extra strong shaft. You should always use a jeans needle, whether it's denim. It doesn't have to be blue jeans, but any heavy woven fabric particularly. And I'm going to start with my needle down. I'm up to 5 layers, and the machine will be be happier when you do that. And I can sew fast. The machine, this motor is very powerful, but I'm intentionally not going super fast because even though this is a jeans needle, I still know that my needle needs time to chew on this fabric because it's really thick and dense. And I'll take a look. I may want to change the pressure on my presser bar, but for now we'll mostly leave it where it is. And again, that's 5 layers. And I want to show you guys, look at the stitching. The stitching is just wonderful. The machine is happy to do this kind of stitching for you. This is a domestic machine, but it is built very heavily. I've seen the inside. I can show you the inside of the machine, and you would not believe the weight of the drivetrain. So now I'm going to add, see, I've got 5 layers. I'm going to add another 3. Let's see, I'm going to add, like I say, I need to be able to get it under the presser foot. And that's true for all of you with your machines. The machine has got to be able to feed the material. No matter how strong your machine is, you're not going to have much success if the machine is sort of fighting with itself. So I'm going to put this under the foot. Okay. And I'm getting to the maximum of my clearance. I've now got 8 layers of denim, right? Actually, I'm going to pull this down a little bit. Get my thread properly in place. I'm going to move my layers around here. So I've got my fabric under the foot. I'm going to put my presser bar down, but I'm going to ease up on the pressure just a bit because the machine's going to be moving a lot more and it needs a little bit more space so it doesn't bind on itself. Those of you who sew know this if you've ever sewn heavy things. And again, I definitely want to start with my needle down. And if the machine doesn't want to sew this much, it'll tell you. You can listen to it and you'll watch what it does. Okay? And so far, it seems to be happy with what I'm asking it to do. And even at this, 8 layers, I can still back tack. And what this is a testament to the engineering that went into this machine. It's a design that goes back to the year 1900. So Singer kept it in production a very long time because it was so wonderful. And you'll notice I'm sewing at a slower speed. I'm asking my needle to do quite a lot, and it seems happy to do it so far. We're doing well. Now I'm going to lift up a little bit more of my presser bar because I'm getting really to sort of a limit, I think, on the space, not on the power of the machine, but the space under the foot. And so I want you to see that even at this, at this level of weight, and here's the other side, the machine is amazing. That's 8 layers of denim. It's not a lightweight fabric to begin with. So now I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can get 2 more. I'm going to try to get them under the foot. If I can't, I'll pull out 1 because again, the machine will do a lot for you, but it's got to be able to move the fabric with the feed dogs in the foot. You can't really jam it there because then the machine is really, you can do it for short amounts of time, but you really want the machine to be able to deal with what you're giving it. So we'll try 10. If not, I'll back off and go back to 9. 9 is still far more than most of you will ever do, but I'm doing this to give you an idea of the strength of the machine. It's not like you're going to be sewing 9 layers of denim all the time. So we'll come down with the needle and we'll see what it says. Yeah, and you'll notice it just, what's happening is it's actually starting to, what was happening is, I don't know if you heard that little sound, but that's the needle, and the needle was beginning to bend and start to come off of its alignment. It didn't break, but that's how needles break. Eventually, you get even a jeans needle, right? So the machine was ready to go. Let's go, but the needle, it will only go so far. So I'm going to take these off, and I'm going to go back to 9 and see if it will let me play with 9 layers. Because I really want to I'm doing this in part also to teach you guys who are maybe new at this, when you say, well, I wonder how much my machine can sew. Your motor, this motor is powerful enough to sew quite a bit. But again, you've got to be able to get it under the presser foot, and the machine's got to be able to feed that material through in order to get it sewn. It's just not going to let you do this without that ability, right? So let's push down a little bit. We'll see what she does. And I'm going to turn around. And you notice, I definitely want to sew more slowly here because the machine it needs time to puncture that material. And you saw that material was snug there when I pulled it out. Okay, guys, I really wanted, and I did this on purpose, I wanted to basically push the machine as far as it would go and then let you see when the machine said, no, that's enough. So I got to 9, not 10 layers, but that's 9 layers of denim, okay? And the purpose of doing this is not to exaggerate the machine. This is not a machine that was used in a factory. This is a domestic machine. It was actually designed and sold to people for the home. And if you lived on a farm or you had a small business, you had to be able to sew all kinds of things. You can make adjustments with thread and tension, and you can actually, with this machine, I had the tension set way low because of what I was doing here. You can actually sew silk dresses with this machine. So it's so flexible. But again, this is the amount of material I did. I doubt any of you will ever sew this many layers of fabric. But you may have heavy-duty jobs where you want to know that the machine is strong for you and willing to work. Now, enough time, I do want to show you guys some of the garment leather that is capable of sewing. Okay, guys, I stopped my video because I had about a minute and a half and I wanted to go ahead and change needles. I had a size 18 jeans needle in the machine for the denim. I've switched over to a size 18 leather tip needle. This makes a huge difference when you're sewing garment leather or any kind of leather. And what I've done is I've set up the machine. I have 4 layers of garment leather. I normally will show about 2, maybe 3 sometimes. And so I want to show you the machine's willingness to do this. And here I am back tacking. And then I'll come back around and I'll show you guys the stitching. And I'm showing you different speeds. I highly recommend all of you, when you are sewing anything heavy, to go slow. Hey guys, I wanted to show you the results of these 4 layers of garment leather being stitched. So you want to look at the stitches. You want to make sure the tension is good, which they are, which it is, and that the stitches are consistent. And then I'll show you what it actually went through. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? So 4 layers of garment leather. That's pretty significant for any sewing machine to tackle. So again, that's with a leather tip needle. I don't think it would have done that with a jeans needle. If you guys have any questions, if you have materials that you would like to bring by and maybe have us do some test stitching on, and be happy to help you with it. If you're an experienced sewer, you can sit right down and start sewing on her. It's a very simple machine to operate, but it is one of the vintage machines, and it's likely the heaviest machine, the heaviest duty of the vintage machines that you can get before stepping up to an industrial. So if you have an interest in seeing the machine, let me know, email me, and I'll be happy to set up a time to meet with you and let you take a look. Thank you.